Lions Kool-Aid, hashtag Lions. How much better do you think the defense is going to be from last year? I think it's going to be night and day. I think it is going to be night and day. I was hoping from an improvement from 32 to 16. After what I saw in preseason and the rotation, they got the defensive line and how well the linebackers played and how well Brian Branch looks. And we don't even know what CJ and Cam's going to bring. I think they could be top 10 defense. And that's saying a lot. After watching the preseason and just look how cohesive the unit is with a bunch of backups and just the rotation that they have, I was impressed. I was impressed with Campbell. I was impressed with the new guys that they're on this team, and I think the defense can take even a bigger jump. What do you think?
I'm agreeing, Mike. I think after, from years past, we've seen, from all the training camps, from all the beat writers, where that the offense were just kind of manhandling the defense during training camp. It's been a different story this year. We're seeing that the defense has won many days. They've won many days in training camp, making the offense struggle. The offense is not really like just taking care of business like they normally have. There's a top 5 unit last year with that offense, and they, our defense this year, this brand new defense that they implemented with the brand new players, has been making some noise. So, guys like Branch, CJ, Gardner Johnson, Cam Sutton, all the guys that we named earlier are going to make a difference on this defense. So I'm thinking from and you have to go from last year too. They were a top 15 unit, winning those 8 out of 10 games last year. It took a couple moves, couple firings, and then they played really well. So I expect from 32 to I'm thinking top 15 to top 20. They should make significant of a jump. And if they don't, there's problems.
If they are not top 20, there's a legit issue with Aaron Glenn at that point. You can't just say it's the roster.
You can't.
I don't think they're going to be that bad, but that would be the conversation. And please do not rip on the defense after week 1. You're going against the juggernaut offense.
You know what's coming.
It's going to, they're going to get lit. Why? Because it's the one of the best offense in football. Hashtag Ball Brigade. What result would you make disappointed next week? How much do they have to lose by, or how little they score? Oh, look, if we lose by more than 10 points, I'm kind of pissed off. Okay? If it's going to be something like that, I'm going to be angry, because if you're trying to be one of the best teams in football, you can't lose by double-digit points. That would make me mad. If we lose anything from 10 beyond that, I'm like, okay, what is going on here? There's some real problems, and that's not good. It's looking pretty easy for KC. What about you, Mark?
I'm kind of in the same boat. I just don't want to see them get blown out. I'm not saying that we don't have a chance. Again, I'm not doing that. I know there's guys on the radio, man, saying that, you can't just be that guy that says, I just don't want them to lose by, 15 or 16 points. It's not that. It's not that whatsoever. I'm just hoping they don't get blown out. Play them tough. Give them a chance. Give your boys a chance to win this football game. And then we'll go from there. I just don't see them getting blown out, though. I think they're going to dogfight this team to the end, and it's going to come down to either a field goal, maybe 2 field goals. So, that's exactly what I think they need to do. Just don't get blown out, but give yourself a chance to win the football game. That's it.
Also would be really disappointed if we lose by a last-second field goal. That would be extremely disappointing, whether it be on offense whether it be our special teams or their special teams. That Justin Tucker game just freaking took my soul out. And I don't think I want to see something like that again. Those are the worst. Those are the absolute worst. Hashtag Woot. Think Moseley will dress for week 1? I'm thinking not. I don't think he dresses week 1, but you don't know. It's just a really good sign that he's on the active roster. But I'm going to go with not, because he hasn't practiced really at all yet. And you think that maybe they trust Jerry Jacobs a little bit more now since he's been practicing. But I don't know. Maybe he does. What do you think, Mark?
Yeah, I think there's a good chance he doesn't dress as well. He just got activated off the pup. And, we're not losing him for 4 weeks if that would have happened, if he would have stayed on there. So like Mike said, he hasn't practiced, so I don't really see him dressing. And if he does, he'd be extremely limited if he does play, if he is dressed, if he's full bore, ready to go. But I think he's super close. It seems like so. Obviously, they wouldn't have taken him off the pup if he wasn't close.
Hashtag FGB. What do sleeper team do you think that will make the playoffs this year? Ooh, sleeper teams. I'll go with New Orleans Saints. I think they're a team that could be a sleeper team and make the playoffs. So I'll go with New Orleans. I like what Derek Carr is doing over there. For the AFC, man, I don't know if there's like every team seems to be good over there. I don't know. We'll go with LA Chargers. I'll just throw out a team out there because everyone's talking about the Jets and the Miami Dolphins and the Bills and the Patriots. So I'll just go with that team. What about you, Mark?
Yeah, they kind of in the AFC. I am going to say the Jets. I think they're a top 5. They were a top 5 defensive unit last year. I think they were a couple pieces away. They brought in Aaron Rodgers to bolster that offense, and I think they make the playoffs. I think they have a good chance to even win the AFC East. It's going to be tougher though with still Buffalo around. Miami's always a little bit good too. So I think the Jets in the NFC. I think I want to say the Falcons because I think they have a pretty good defense. I think they're still a quarterback away though, but they do have some really good weapons. They drafted Bijan Robinson. They still got Kyle Pitts, who had a down year last year. I expect them to bounce back. Drake London, I think they're a big sleeper though. I just don't like their quarterback situation, but I'll just take the Falcons just because I don't think a lot of people have.
Jonathan Anton, are we going to run the ball 60% of the time to exploit their defensive line? I don't think they're going to run the ball that much. I think it's probably 50-50. I truly do. Now, I think they could be using Jahmyr Gibbs a lot in the past game, so it kind of look like that. Maybe they'll do some wide receiver screens. They'll kind of make it look like that, but I still think they're going to pass the ball, 50% of the time. I think they will. What do you got, Mark?
I think like Mike said earlier, like he alluded to earlier, he said, to keep Patrick Mahomes on the sideline, you're going to have to run the football. And if they're running the football at a success rate, you might see them running the ball 60% of the time, a 60-40 split. I think we're still based on running the ball. I think that's what they really want to do here. You bring in a guy like Montgomery, who has a really high missed tackle rate, and he's actually a very, very underrated running back. And then you got Gibbs, even those short area passes is kind of a running game in itself.
Yeah, kind of like a de
ball
facto.
Off the guys like Gibbs and Laporta. So, yeah, man, I think they're going to run the ball, maybe not at a 65 clip, but I can see 60% if it's working for sure.
Any trades that are going to happen to today before the season started? Oh man, for our football team, if there's a trade, it would be a low end type of trade. I don't think so. I'm not seeing it right now. And I seen someone ask about the Mike Evans thing. What Speakeasy was saying from Woodward Sports is they kind of maybe pushed down to the trade deadline, but they were definitely talking. So that's all we got on that right now. So they may just wait. Maybe the Buccaneers are waiting to see if they actually are crud. And if the Lions are going to wait for their crud, then they can get a little bit of a discount when teams are selling. So that's a very possible situation right there. But do I see – it probably would have happened already if they wanted to trade, let's be honest. You got a week going until the season, and now they're pretty much locked on for whoever they want to get. Hashtag Mike, you think our deed will be improved? I think he's talking about defense will be improved this year because I'm hoping for a strong D.
Strong D.
Man,
I'm giving her a D, man, a strong D. I'm giving her a D, man, a strong D.
We got to have that strong D, and that's hashtag facts. I do think our defense is going to be much improved, much improved.
Has to be.
It's going to be it's faster, stronger, better tackling, and more turnovers. I think that's what, and it looks sound. Even with the backup players, you look at these guys, and the communication was sound. They are all doing their part, and that's difficult to do until we got to like the third and fourth strings, but who really cares at that point? But I think it's going to be much improved. It better be. But again, I'm going to keep saying this. Don't rip on them if they get 30-some points thrown on them versus Kansas City. Kansas City does that to everybody. It's just you got to go team by team here.
It doesn't get any better week 2 either.
Yeah, you're going against the Seattle Seahawks. So we'll wait a little bit to kind of really see how the defense is, and don't say, oh, we got to fire everybody right now. You know, he's got to go after the Kansas City puts up some points on us. So that's just the most. Brian Branch got me excited. He's got everybody excited. He's got everybody excited on here. 100%. Don't forget the game day. That's right, Grandizer. I will be live on game day. Soaring Eagle Casino doing play-by-play. It's going to be freaking epic. Herm will be there.
Awesome.
Pre- and post-game show talking Detroit Lions. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. What happened to Adam? Everybody asks me about this. What happened to Adam? Well, I can't really talk about it. He asked me not to say anything, but guess what? You'll find out at some point, right? That's all I can say about that. Let's see here. That hit laid in New York gave me a hard run. It gave him a run right there. For sure. If you got questions, put it in the comment section. Do you guys actually think we'll win? Yeah, I have the Lions winning the game, 32-28. I think the Lions can win. Well, look, guys, they're not unbeatable. Kansas City was not undefeated last year. Yeah. Okay, I think the Lions have a legit shot to win. So, yeah, I got them winning this game, and it's not going to be easy. It's going to be tough. Mark disagrees. He thinks we'll take the little bit of the L. But, Mark, you can explain yourself. Well, they're a good team.
Yeah, I think KC's a good team. Obviously, they're Super Bowl champions. We're going up against some of the best guys in the NFL at the position with Mahomes and Kelsey. Andy Reid will have those boys ready. Arrowhead is a dangerous place to go play at week 1. There's going to be rust regardless whether they played whether or not during preseason. I think they'll be feeling each other out, but I just think it's a tough matchup week 1. I think we have a shot, but I'm giving us about a 40% shot. So
that's a good shot.
I think we have a shot. Right? I think we really do. Some things are going to have to go our way, obviously, just like every game in the NFL is. But we're going to have to make cause some turnovers. Kicking field goals will not win you this football game. So it's going to be a tough go for the Lions. And like I said, I would pick if there was 31 other teams going into Arrowhead on week 1, I would pick the Kansas City Chiefs. It's nothing against Detroit. I just think it's a tough matchup for our Detroit Lions. That's it.
Now, imagine if the Lions win. If you're at Ford Field on week 2, do you think it's going to be loud? It would be the loudest of all time.
Yeah.
It would be. What's that?
I'm going to be there week 3.
If the Lions beat Kansas City, you better get some earplugs next week following that with Seattle in town, because that we seen in preseason how loud they are. That Honolulu Blue and Kool-Aid would be on fire. That stuff would be holy God. It would be going to a hibachi and they put the fire on drinks instead of putting it on the food. That's what it would be right there.